Now, the topic, the subject, the title is Build an Obsessed Team. Okay, this sounds simple. Let me tell you something. The culture we live in today, unless you belong to ISIS, you got an obsession problem. You're not obsessed. John, fix this. If you are not part of the group of ISIS, you have a problem with my topic because you got an obsession problem. Because every day you're being talked into, your team is being convinced into, and I'm talking about if you have 2 people working in your company, 1 person working in your company, 20,000 people in your company. I was just yesterday with one of the major 100 corporations in America, and I'm like, you guys got a problem. Okay, really, that's why we brought you in. And it's not your competition. It's not your pricing. It is not your margin. It is that you're average. You are accepting average, and you are going to get eaten up in this space, okay? So now the question is, how do you build a great team? You can't build a great team if you're average. You cannot build a great team if your manager is average. You cannot build a great team with great people if the leadership is not obsessed with the dream. The people that have made a difference on this planet all had one thing in common. Obsessed. Obsessed. From Jesus Christ to Steve Jobs to Donald Trump. Okay? Now, I know you're like, wait a minute, Uncle G, Grant Cardone, okay? Man, bro, you can't do that. You cannot mention Jesus Christ's name, Steve Jobs, and Donald Trump in the same sentence. Yes, I could. I could also throw Hitler in there, all right? I could throw in Einstein. I could throw in Ben Franklin. I could throw in Mother Teresa. I could throw in Mussolini. I could throw in ISIS. I could throw in Bin Laden. Look, you could throw in a drug addict. You could throw in the girl obsessed with the guy, right? I could throw in my daughter that's obsessed with Shopkins. What do these people have in common? An obsession, a fascination with some concept or some idea. Now, you're looking at sales. You're looking at follow-up. You're looking at people making phone calls, okay? My average salesperson here, we got 60-plus people here in Miami, another 20 plus 8, maybe 28 people in Orlando, 100 people in real estate. But what we have in common at all 3 locations is a leader that is a freak, a fanatic, a beast. He is obsessed. The leader of these groups is obsessed, okay? You cannot, my dad used to say, the apple don't fall far from the tree, okay? Let me tell you something. Average people do not produce obsessed fruit. Average people do not get obsessed results. So that's how you got to be. Is this problem today with millennials or boomers or everything in between that you're having trouble finding people highly interested? You're having trouble finding people that are really engaged. You're having trouble finding people that are excited. They want to come to work. They want to make more money. Is this a problem with a demographic? I think not. I think not. In fact, I tell you what, I know it's not a problem with demographics because I hire every demographic. I got 25-year-olds. I'll hire 75-year-olds. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what generation you were born in, okay? I know this. If I can have more obsessed people work for me than the people I compete with, I win the game, period, okay? Elon Musk, obsessed. Okay. Jeff Bezos, obsessed, a company called Amazon. Okay. I'm going to change the game. Howard Schultz, obsessed with getting coffee into the hands of people that didn't even drink coffee, much less at 3:00 in the afternoon in Miami on a June day. So is the problem, finding great people, is that the problem or is it the opportunity? I think you need to shift your concept. What is it? Oh, no, it's the opportunity, not the problem. When we moved to Miami from Los Angeles, everybody told me, okay, you're going to have a problem with people here. Dude, I had a problem in LA. I had a problem in San Diego. I had a problem in Houston. I had a problem when I was in Chicago. I've had a problem everywhere I went finding good people. Why? Because you and I live on a planet where average is the commodity that is most accepted by society. So no wonder you got a sales team with a bunch of average people, average results, average interests, making average money, having average ideas, average solutions. And it basically dragged the entire team down to what? Hey, let's just compete rather than let's dominate. You want people on your team that'll do anything for you. I'm talking jump off buildings and run through walls. I want people that work for me that can fly. Okay? Which means what? I cannot have an orderly space. I cannot have HR running my company. I cannot have an executive worried about every little outpoint of the organization. I want beast. And beast do not like heavy regulation, right? I need space. My top guy here, Mike Bonnet, don't tell anybody, but Mike Bonnet is probably less equipped to be the top than other guys I got in there. Definitely got smarter people, okay? I mean, Mike Bonnet, if I go in there right now and say, who is the dumbest person in the room? Mike could, that could be me. But let me tell you, this Mike dude, he's obsessed, man. He's obsessed with the game. He's obsessed with results. He's obsessed with trophies. He's here on Sunday. Sunday, I drive up at 11 o'clock. There's 2 people in the office, me and old Mikey. Now, Mikey is an HR nightmare, okay? Mikey is the guy on Facebook and Snapchat and crazy. He's got 3 kids, by the way, okay? If I walk in a room and say, Mike, let's shoot some pool, Mike will gamble me for pool. He wants to win or wants to lose, but he wants to play. See, that's what I want. And I can't put heavy regulation on the guy. Because if I do, I will stymie his ability to produce at higher levels. Also, you will never find a Mikey. You'll never find obsessed people if you stay small. You can't stay small and find greatness. It has never been done in the history of the world. It is impossible to find big gold nuggets or big, giant, juicy diamonds if you're just panning for gold in the little river stream. They never come from there, man. They come because you got to have equipment. You got to have commitment, and you got to go deep. You got to make big investments to get the big rocks. If you're trying to stay small in your company, okay, and I know there's a lot of you across the board here, and I'm going to answer some of your questions, okay? If you have any questions, Jose Sanchez says just post them in the chat here. I'm happy to answer, happy to help you with anything. They got me logged in as my daughter, Sabrina Cardone. See, my daughter, Sabrina, is obsessed, and I want her to be obsessed. I want her to be a freak. I want her to be all in. I want her to be consumed. I don't want her to listen to her teachers. Okay, I don't need her to pay attention to every single thing I say. I need to inspire her to be the hottest fire in the room, which puts the parent at risk, okay? I need Mike Bonnet to go on the phone there and go crazy. I would rather have that than an individual that's going home and his wife saying, what are you doing? You always working. Okay, now what? My boy Heath, who's more talented, got home and his wife saying, oh, you spend so much time at work. Okay? So which brings me to another point. If you want obsessed people, you have to influence the wives and the husbands and the kids. Look, great employees are vital to your survival. Okay? Great employees are vital. Now, everybody here would agree with that. You would agree. Great organizations are vital on the people. I don't need to be, I can be Sabrina. Dude, it's all right. Great organizations need great people. Everybody agrees with that, okay? What do average organizations need? What do average organizations need? They need what? They depend on what? Average people. Average sales teams depend on what? Average people. Average managers. Beast. The beast will not spend time with a squirrel. Okay, now I just keep it real with you guys, all right? You're like, oh, what about some team building exercises? Hey, what about we don't do that? I'm running a company here. We're going to do 100 million. I don't have time for us to go off every time I need to build a team. I don't have time to run off to a ropes course. You know what I got time for? It's called target attainment time, the TAT. Tat, tat, tat. Like Bin Laden. Tat, tat, 2 in the head, 1 in the chest, just for good measure. Oh, man, this Grant Cardone guy, he's over the top. Yeah, I am over the top. I'm obsessed. This is what you get when you get me, right? Test me out, see what it says. Hard to control, difficult to manage. That's what I want. Man, I want people that are hard to control, difficult to manage. In fact, I want people around me I don't have to manage. So how do you attract these people? You don't attract them by having a little picnic park. Who wants a picnic park? People that need safety, right? Who wants a little bench? Oh, here we are. We're all safe and everything's cool and calm. Who wants a the little table that Google has anyway? Okay. Maybe that's big if you're a multi-billion-dollar company, but let's keep it real. You're not listening if you're making a multi-billion dollars a year right now. You're not on this stream. Who's on this stream? You got 1 employee and your wife. You got 2 or 3 people in your company. You got 2 salespeople and you and the owner. You guys actually split the company up because neither one of you were committed. So you thought, I'll put 2 half hearts together and we'll have a whole one. No, you won't. You got 2 people that got a 50% commitment relying on the other person, and the other person today woke up average. And average pulls down everything. Average pulls down everything back to the median. That's why America, the richest country in the world, the greatest country in the history of the world, has become a place of average people. Average companies, average profits. 2/3 of all companies in America break even or lose money. It's a freaking disaster. This is what Trump's saying all the time. Let's make America great again. Whether you like him or don't like him, man, at least he's got an opinion. And that's dangerous. Why is it so dangerous to have an opinion? Because that's who changes the world. And most people that don't want to change the world, that want to keep the status quo, manager, they call you a manager for a reason, because you don't own it. Okay? They would promote you to ownership if you would quit being a manager. People that manage money end up with no money. Okay? People that manage sales teams end up with no sales. Target attainment. You want to build a team? Target attainment. Get me the freaking number now. Okay? Nobody leaves until we get the number. I have to have the number today. Get me reported numbers every 30 minutes if necessary. That is how you build great people. Oh, but I'm going to lose. Yeah, you are. You're going to lose who? You're going to lose Wilbur. Wilbur's been there 14 years. 14 years longer than he should have been. So develop a reputation, okay, for attracting the best people. Develop a reputation for attracting people that get paid more than anybody else in your industry. I have salespeople. Bring me Mike Bonnet, Steve, bring me 3 guys that made $300,000 last year. I got people that work for me that make more money than people that own companies. I got people that didn't finish college, never went to college. One guy didn't finish high school that make more money than people that own companies. I'm talking about big companies. So, a couple things. Develop a reputation as a place that people want to work. Google's done this, okay? People want to work at Google. Why? Because the name's so big, right? But how do you do that? How do you make it gritty and cool? And you're not Google, so you don't have that. You can't make your place cool enough. So what you got to do is you got to get some revenue. Look, I'm in sales for a reason. I couldn't do anything else, and I want to make some money, okay? Always be hiring. You always need to be hiring people, all right? You guys just come in here, man. Just introduce yourself and tell me how much you make. How much would you make last year? How old are you?
30 years old.
30 years old, dude. 30 years old. What'd you make last year?
$476,000.
And he didn't break the law. Did not break the law. Okay. Come on in here, big boy.
What's up?
Introduce yourself, man.
Jordan Stupar, 30 years old as of yesterday, made about $430,000 last year.
On a phone, making phone calls. How you do that? Heath, come on in here, man. Heath, how long you been with me?
6 years.
6 years. Okay, this is the guy I was telling you about the other day, okay? What'd you make last year?
$443,000.
Damn, and you'd have made $600 if your wife wasn't bitching at you all the time, okay? Right? Okay, so this is how do you do this, okay? How do you do this? You got to be hiring people all the time. You have to be recruiting people all the time. You have to be out there on social media all the time. You got to be making noise all the time. You got to be screaming and yelling. What does a beast do? What does the beast do? What does King Kong do? He beats his chest and says, King of the jungle, man. And then he whips Tarzan's ass, okay, and makes sure the entire village sees him break his back, his bones, his ribs. Maybe that was just a movie. But it does make a point, right? What does LeBron do? He walks out there and says, I am the king. Okay? All the greats had swag. All the obsessed had swag. You don't think Jesus Christ didn't have some swag? Walked through town and tore the market up. Okay? And then dropped the mic. JC, check with me in 2000. Look, always hiring. You got to always be recruiting, okay? You think Jesus wasn't always recruiting? Steve Jobs wasn't always recruiting? Elon Musk isn't always recruiting? The best sales organizations I know, one of the great salespeople I've ever met in my life was a guy, and I talk about this and Be Obsessed or Be Average, a guy named Larry Van Tile. Larry Van Tile was one of the smartest businessmen I've ever known. Sold his company for $4 or $5 billion, or maybe a little more than that, okay? That's just one of his companies. He's got a couple of other companies probably worth more than that. Larry, number one thing Larry did every time was when he met you, every person he met, whether you were a banker, an insurance agent, broke, rich, white, black, tall, skinny, short, Republican or Democrat, he tried to recruit you. Everybody was a recruit, okay? I thought he was in network marketing. Then I realized he was a car dealer. He constantly recruited because he knew you can't find that big freaking 2-ounce nugget of gold just sifting for little freaking pebbles. Okay, the guy was always looking. He was always digging for gold and people because he knew his company was dependent, that he was not in the car business. He was in the people business. He also knew and told me this, Grant, people don't cost money. My competitor thinks people cost money. People do not cost money except in recessions when they can't sell something. So always be hiring. Let the world know that you're hiring. Let the world know. But how can you do that? How can you possibly always be hiring when you're worried about your little budget? Okay? Now, I got some great questions here. I don't know how to do this and answer these because I got some great questions, okay? Look at the more resumes. The more resumes you look at, the better you're going to do, okay? Demand that people send you video. Do interviews yourself if possible, okay? Know what to look for. I'm looking for whatever it takes. I'm looking for willingness to do whatever it takes. I'm looking for people that can duplicate orders. I'm looking for compliance. I'm looking for zero drama. I'm looking for speed. I'm looking for a willingness to die for a cause. I'm looking for people that are motivated by more than just money, okay? What else is it, dude? Because I can get you the money. I need to find out those things that are going to get you beyond just money. I'm looking for not just talent. I'm looking for people that will die for the cause. I'm looking for people that are dangerous to the environment. And by the way, I'm looking to get rid of people that don't fit the bill. I'm constantly looking for someone to cut. Okay, now last year, we had the best year by at least double. Yeah, double any year that I've ever had. I've had year after year after year since 2009. I've had record years. Last year was double the year before it, and the year before that was a freaking monster year. Okay, how do I do that? In January, I think January the 2nd or 3rd, first thing we did to start the new year off, we celebrated. We celebrated by getting rid of somebody. I looked around the room. I said, yep, let's go ahead and do it now. Good dude. Like the dude, still like the dude. Love to have a beer with him. Blew him out. Okay. Why? Why would you get rid of somebody when you had a record year? Because I want to have another record year, man. I don't want slow. I don't want reasonable. I don't want la. I want somebody to blow themselves up, right? I want somebody never satisfied. I don't want to hear about how good last year was. I want to freaking blow up. And that's what Obsess is about. It's about spectacular. It's about not settling, okay? And it's about getting a lot of judgment. I know some of you listening to me right now, some of you are going to love me, some of you are going to hate me. Dude, it's all right. Pick. Love me or hate me, at least now you know me. Because if you don't know me, none of this matters, okay? And then the message can sit there and resonate with you. All right, what do I want to be? The only reason you would hate this message is because you've made a bigger commitment to being average, and this is grating on your nerves, okay? It's disagreeing with considerations that you've made. It's your wife at home saying, honey, I just want to be happy. Dude, who wants to just be happy, okay? Sounds like a t-shirt. Right? I don't want to just be happy. Life is not about a t-shirt. Life is about, hey, what else can I learn? How can I be great? How can I get around Jay Abrahams and Damon John and Lewis Howes and Les Brown and Grant Cardone and Tim Story and Tim Grover that wrote Relentless and hung out with Kobe and a guy named Tom Cummings that's going to make $250 million and Jamie Shanks. How do I spend 3 days with great people? Right? How do I become obsessed with, I want to spend 3 weeks in the Mediterranean on a 200-foot yacht that cost me $240,000 a week. But I don't want all that. Then you ain't going to be invited. This is about what I want, okay? And for me to build a great sales team, I need my great sales team to have some place to go. I need to be able to offer them trips and things that they can't buy with their own money. For my clients, for me to get better clients, I need to be able to offer my clients things they can't get with their own money. Maybe I pick them up in my plane. Let me pick you up. Okay? I don't know. I know this. Everything you want in life, and by the way, Bill Gates agrees with this. They're giving $80 billion to charity. They're giving their entire state away. And you know what he says? He found out? We're short on money. We don't have enough money. Okay? Be obsessed with your team, okay? It doesn't say babysit your team. It doesn't say put diapers on them. Be obsessed with what, okay? So how does this create, how is this winning customers? How does this create value for the customer? Look, if your people aren't obsessed, they're going to say no they're going to turn and walk away the first time the customer says no. We just closed a deal with Hertz. Okay, we called Hertz every month for 2 years, 24 months. My guy should have called him twice a month, but he didn't. We got the business, we got the deal because it's $1 million contract. We got the deal because we called every month. Now, if my guys are not obsessed, by the way, how would it benefit a customer if you're just being average? Hey, we got average service, average product. We take care of people. We have average hours. How does that benefit a customer? Why is the idea of obsession such a threat to so many? Okay? The great companies are obsessed. Look at Apple. They're obsessed with their clientele. Look at Snapchat. They're getting 400 billion uses a day. Look at YouTube getting the usage, and they're worried. They're obsessed. Intel, the founder of Intel, Andy Grove, used to say, hey, paranoid, be paranoid, stay paranoid. Somebody's going to come take that market share from you. How do I set myself apart from the other warranty competition out there? Dude, service, man. Service and follow-up and cover-up and visits and phone calls and emails. How does Grant Cardone set himself apart from so many different people? How did I get 23 legendary speakers, okay? Business owners, experts, authors. 23 of them are showing up here March 17th at their expense, paying for their plane to get to Miami, to pay for their hotel room to speak on my stage at no cost. How did I pull that off? Because they know I can help them. 23 people know I can help them. Damon John knows I can help him. Les Brown knows I can help him. Tim Story knows I can help him. Gloria Mayfield Banks knows I can help them. How do they know that? Because I'm out there every day obsessed. Okay? If I'm not obsessed, what happens to my people? If they don't see me here on the weekend, they won't come on the weekends. If they see me showing up late, they'll show up late. If I don't pick up the garbage around the building, they won't pick it up. It starts not with management, it starts with ownership. Question from Twitter, what's most effective? The phone, social media, email, all of the above. Also, the one you have on there that is most effective is the personal visit. Combine those four and you got the holy grail. Phone, social, email, personal visit, in your face. Don't forget in your face, folks. I'm in your face.
How do you gain traction and build momentum?
How do you gain traction and build momentum? Okay. Look, this obsession thing isn't a concept. Okay. It's why I left Los Angeles. I left Los Angeles because it is the land of la-las, nutcases, and concepts. This is not a concept. Obsession is a muscle. The muscle must be built every day. Okay. So take a week off from working out, get back in there and see how hard it is. The body grinds, okay? Go work out twice a day for 7 days in a row, and I guarantee you, the 15th exercise, the 15th workout, on the 8th day in the first morning, you'll be walking in there saying, I can't wait to get in here and work out. Because the body, the obsession is getting worked. So again, go back to this. It starts with you, starts with a commitment, then you got to add people. Then you got to get rid of people. Then you got to add people. Then you got to get rid of people. Then you got to add people. And then hopefully over time, you got to be obsessed, not with the expansion, not with the reduction. Do not be obsessed with what you lost. This is where the CFO or the treasury or the HR department are turnover. It's HR, man. Okay? It's way down on the income statement. It's HR. It's not income. Okay? So HR is going to be, our turnover's too high. Nobody asks Google about their turnover. It's never in a report. Everybody's too focused on how much money they make to worry about the turnover. Okay? And by the way, if you want to reduce the turnover, get the success of the top people so good that people actually never want to leave. Okay? Great presentation. Who or what example? I just missed that. It just went away from me. There it is. Okay. A great example. What is your best example of obsessive success? What I'm doing right now, man. Okay. I'll just give you a perfect example today. Got here. I got up at 6, got my kids off to school, gave them a big pat, rock on. Okay. Got here at 9 o'clock, had a meeting this morning at 9:05 that was about 12 minutes long. Reported all the successes we had from yesterday, every number that we had on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. By the way, we had 775,000 articles read on LinkedIn last month. We had 1.1 million views on Facebook yesterday. Okay, every day I get that report. Also our sales. Also, we go over successes of the company. Who's winning? What happened? How do we do for them? How do we help people? Every day, this is an example of obsessed with success. Every day we share successes. We do not share customer complaints. If you want to compete in this marketplace today at the speed of rate, the speed of velocity, the acceleration that things are dissolving at, old ideas that were fresh a week ago, overnight they're gone. Okay? If you want to move at this rate, you have to become obsessed with getting your products to the marketplace, with having margin, with being profitable, with growing, with bringing in great people, with expanding your product line. You got to be obsessed with all that. Okay, all of that at the same time. How do I get market penetration, raise my margins, keep the profit, expand my company? I mean, unless you're going to go raise the money from Goldman Sachs, that's what most of us have to figure out how to do. How do I get money from the marketplace right now, invest it back into my business, become obsessed with that obsession so that I can continue to expand my business and attract great people. Hey, I hope this helps you. Be obsessed, or let's be friends and you can be average.